So when we hear this term like your assignment, purpose, it's really more simple than what we think. I'm going to give you 3 ways how to simplify what your assignment could be. Hey, welcome back to Epiphany Me TV. I'm Dr. Jazz, and as you can tell by the background, you already know what time it is. I'm doing another quick message, another quick chat. So if you've been following along, I've been doing this series of, what are you chasing, sis? So this is another episode continuing that series. And within that, I'm talking about how to be in alignment for your assignment. So if you haven't already, go check out my latest video from last week. I also discussed summit fever and how it's a real psychological phenomena. Go check that out. But within summit fever, there's this quote or title that's talking about knowing your next move. I talked about how the next step would be simplify, and that's where we're at this week. So, how to simplify things by simplifying the information that may be already readily available to you. So, I wanted to ask, have you ever been to like one of those mega beauty supply stores? One of those large stores that's almost the size of like a Home Goods or an At Home. That's how our local mega beauty supply store looks. How do you feel when you walk into those mega beauty supply stores? It can get overwhelming, right? You have all of these options, from left and right. You've only come to the beauty supply store to get 3 things, but now all of a sudden you feel like you need 20 things. You're looking at wigs. You don't even wear wigs. You're looking at these massage products. You're looking at these lip glosses, all of these different hair tools and things where you're like, oh, when I wash my hair, I need this, knowing you don't need it. And it's overwhelming because you have all of these options. So that's why I prefer to just go to the closest, smaller beauty supply store where everything I know what I need. I already know where it is in my mind. I can go straight to it because it's smaller. It helps you narrow your scope. Okay. And so that's what I wanted to focus on today. We make things harder than what they are or what they should be when all we really have to do is just do the best with what we have. I'll do the best I can with what I got. With the information that we already have readily available to us. So just because you may be good or great at a lot of things, it doesn't mean you have to try to accomplish all of those things or feel like all of those things are your assignment. So when we hear this term like your assignment, purpose, it's really more simple than what we think. I'm going to give you 3 ways how to simplify what your assignment could be. So first, narrowing your scope. Okay, list out your passions, your gifts, your abilities. These are things that you know you're good at, and also what you've probably already been told that you're good at. It's really important to use discernment here because not all voices matter when it comes to trying to think back through, okay, what have people told me that I'm good at? What do people point out? Try to narrow that scope down by your passions, your abilities, things that you love to do, things that you've been told you're gifted at. Leaning into that, like your abilities, your passions, things that really just drives you and motivates you. What comes natural? You might hear all of these quotes, nothing in life come easy. You should have to grind. You should have to work hard. You make things harder than what they are. What comes natural to you? And when we discuss like what comes natural, I want you to ignore the shoulds or, well, I should be doing this. Take the should out of your language, out of your conversation around when it comes to your assignment. So if you have a degree in a certain area and you're like, well, I have a degree in this area, so I should do, no, not what you should, or, oh, I spent many years building towards this, but I feel like I should, but there's this inner drive and pull to something else. Focus on what comes natural. What comes natural, take out of the conversation, out of the equation, money, and what degrees you may already have in that area, or what other information you can use to where it just builds this comfort conversation around what you should do. And then 3, this last part, this is also very important. All of them are important. What pulls or gravitates towards you? So I kind of slightly mentioned it in my last point that I just made about what comes natural. What is something that nudges at you? Like no matter where you go, it follows you. People look to you to do this thing, or they know that you're good at this thing, and so they ask you to show up and do this at work. Coworkers are asking, can you do this thing for an upcoming event that they have? You have family members that reach out to you for this and that because they know that you're gifted in that. And if you're a believer, this is also something that God keeps giving you like slight nudges about. Like it keeps showing up in your life. Like again, you could be listening to the radio, somebody mentions something that has to do with what you've already been thinking through that could be your assignment or something that you're purpose to do. So, what are those slight nudges that you've been getting? What pulls and gravitates towards you that no matter where you go, it always shows up? People look for you to do this thing. All right, so those are the three ways that you can simplify your approach and journey towards finding your assignment. You want to narrow your scope by listing out your passions, what comes natural, easy to you. And then three, what has been pulling, tugging at you. All right, so those are the three tips that I have for this week. I'll be back next week with another chat, quick message, and some tips and strategies. But let me know your thoughts below. All right, and thanks for watching. I will chat with you all on next week. Bye.